Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. Today we're going to talk about the Beardstown Ladies. Now, if you know who they are, you are officially old. The Beardstown Ladies was from a little town in Illinois called Beardstown. And they formed an investment club, and they gained notoriety in the 70s and 80s because they were outperforming the investors on Wall Street on a regular basis. And who they were, I think it was 16 ladies that got together in the same church, and they met in the basement of the church once a week. And everybody was assigned, stocks to look at. They would make a presentation, then they would vote. Everybody put in X amount of dollars, and then they invested it in a stock. I did some research online. That group is still up and running today with not necessarily the same people, but descendants of those people. I think that's awesome. Now, investment clubs back then served a purpose. And I think they are still a viable tool today, but for a different purpose, and I'll get into that. I did a video one time, a little while ago, and I was talking about the advantages of Robinhood and Webull and all the no-fee investment in stocks. Because one of the advantages of the investment club back then was if it was a $6 charge for a trade, it was $6, whether it was a $100 trade or a $100,000 trade, it was $6. So if you had 16 people, and they were each paying $6, that's almost $100 between them just for the trade. But if 16 people put their money together and made one trade, it was $6. So it saved money. It also taught them how to invest, how to do the research, and all of those things. Now, this particular group of ladies also wrote several best-selling books, and they were outperforming the market. And the market was very upset and out to get them. And they had to tread lightly because they were little old ladies. I mean, you can't call them liars or thieves or cheats. I mean, these are little old ladies that go to church. But they finally found a way. And if you look online, they'll say that it was a big scandal. Ooh. And they brought them down. Well, first off, it didn't bring them down. And let me explain to you what the scandal was. They went in, the investors and the people from the market, and looked at their books, and they found that they were reporting, there was a way that they were reporting their profits by not deducting their fees for the market. So let's say that they sold for $10, but out of that $10 they had to sell, they had to give $2 to the brokerage. Okay, well, they didn't take the $2 out. And so all the people on Wall Street said, see. Okay, let's fast forward to today, when we have no fee buy and sell on Webull and all the other Robinhoods, and there are no fees. That was a made-up scandal trying to tear that group apart. And here we are 15 years later, or however many, no, it's been 40 or 50 years later. The group is still together, they're still making money. And by the way, after they deducted the fees, they went back and redid it. Those little old ladies were still turning 7%. This is back in the 70s and 80s. Still turning 7% on their, after the fees. Fees make a big difference, and the Beardstown Ladies is a good example. You should go research that and find out what a big difference Robinhood and Webull and all those make. It's huge. So, but anyway, there was that was very cool. Now, the way that you set one up, it needs to be a legal entity. You need to have like-minded people. And you need to have a couple of meetings to set the rules and set the meeting times and dates and amounts, and there also needs to be a little bit of a fee for whoever's doing the majority of the book work. I mean, there's a lot of work involved in maintaining one of those clubs. Now, the advantages for those clubs, number one, back then, was to eliminate or drastically reduce your fees. But there was also friendships. That group is still going today. You learn research skills, you gain knowledge, and when you have more people looking at a problem, you get more perspectives, less likely to make a mistake. Now, as I said, back then, it served a purpose, and that was to cut down on fees. Well, today you don't need the fees. But why do I think that investment clubs should be making a comeback? And here's a couple of reasons why. First off, let's think about who would benefit from an investment club. How about people that don't have banking accounts? You can't get on Webull or Robinhood if you don't have a bank account to draw the money out of. So everybody that doesn't bank could benefit. What about people that are older that don't have the technology skills to get in there and do that? They would benefit. Have one person on there that can do it, and all they do is put their money in. Another advantage would be, even if you're young and you have a bank account, you can still go to these groups and gain knowledge. You can only research so many stocks, but if you spread that out over 16 people, and everybody, you could bring your own laptop, and as they're speaking, you could make your own investments right there, and all it would cost you would be your monthly or weekly fee for the administrator. I believe that investment groups today are still viable. I think they should make a comeback, but I think they serve a different purpose. Because today you can do it on your own and there's still no fees. Oh, what a scandal that is. Or you could do both. You could do one where you would go to the group, take your laptop with you or your phone or whatever it is you do, and the ones that you like, you make your own investments for your own account, and also put in your, whatever it is, $25, $50, whatever it is, for a week or for a month, and be part of the group and see which one does better. But no matter what the outcome, no matter how much money you make or lose, you still have friendships, you still have knowledge, you still learn about the market. It is an invaluable experience. I highly, highly recommend it. But in order to make it work, you do need to put the work in up front. Make it a legal entity. Go to an attorney. Have him set it up. You need to set up the rules. What's the minimum amount in? What's the minimum fee? Who are the officers? What are their duties? How do you cash in? How do you cash out? How do new members cash in? What's their percentages? Now, a lot of that is computer stuff, but it needs to be addressed. And how can you change the rules? That also needs to be addressed. But you need to make it a legal entity so that everybody's protected and everybody has an equal feeling. And one of the advantages is in an investment club, like those little old ladies in the church, they all have one thing in common. They all knew each other and they all went to the same church. So it's not like you're dragging people in off the road. So if you wanted to start one, and I don't know, where you work maybe, that would be a good place. You make up a little hand flyer, you hand it out to everybody. If you're interested, let me know. And set up a meeting and talk about it. I think it serves a huge segment of the population. And I think everybody has gotten so involved with Robinhood and doing it on your own that they have forgotten about clubs. And think about all the unbanked people out there. Think of all of the elderly that don't have access or know how to use technology. Those two groups right there are big, big groups. And what about the young people that are just in school or getting ready to start jobs? You know, they don't have enough money to go invest, they think, but they could come up with $25 a month or whatever the fee is. It would serve a big group of people, and I hope they make a comeback, and I hope that if you're listening or watching this, I hope that you would give it some serious consideration, either start one or join one, and let's get the word out. Because, you know, right now everybody looks like a genius in the market, but there's going to come a time where, in the very near future, in my opinion, where we're going to go back to the old days, and, you know, 7% a year. Think about that, 7% a year. I mean, right now I've got some stocks that are paying 10% dividends. Can you imagine growth at 7% less than dividend stocks? Wow. So it's going to be very important to maximize every investment you make, even without fees. And the only way you're going to get there is through accurate, tedious research. So spread the word, start a group, join a group, and anytime you want to learn about the ins and outs and the inner workings of an investment group, look up the Beardstown Ladies. And like I said, they wrote 3 or 4 books back then. They were all bestsellers. Go get one of those. Well, you guys have a great week, and happy investing, and I hope happy investment club investing.